Good morning. And the tapering continues. New Fed Chair Janet Yellen stays on pace, cutting back another $10 billion from the central bank's asset purchases. Smooth transition. Soon-to-be Bank of Korea Governor Lee Ju-yeol looks to find balance between the nation's inflation rate and economic growth. Sleepless in Seoul. The nightlife of Seoul's Gangnam district has everything you want, from the unique to the posh, and there's always more where that came from. And makeup in Seoul. Jennifer Kim has the look at the large-scale makeup exhibition and joins us in the studio with some tips for your lips on Korea Today, Thursday, March 20th, 2014.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And good morning, and thank you for joining us on Korea Today. I'm Kim Young alongside Oh Jin-ju and Kim Min-jung.
It got a bit chilly today morning, and we're expecting some sporadic showers throughout the nation.
That's right, and we're expecting some snow over in the eastern Gangwon-do region. It feels like we're going back to winter. What is this, right?
Yeah, exactly. We keep going back and forth, forth. So watch out for the cold because we're getting it.
Rain is in the forecast, so make sure to bring an umbrella with you for those Solites. We'll begin with our top story in the meantime. In the wee hours of this morning, Korea time, the U.S. Federal Reserve has announced its plan to cut another $10 billion from its monthly bond purchases to $55 billion in April. In a statement issued after a two-day policy meeting, the first to be headed by the new chair, Janet Yellen, the Fed unveiled its third reduction to quantitative easing and reaffirmed its commitment to near zero interest rates even after job figures pick up. The U.S. Central Bank added that economic activity slowed during the winter months, partially due to harsh weather conditions. Though largely in line with market expectations, the U.S. stock markets ended lower on Wednesday as investors feared interest rate hikes would happen about 6 months after quantitative easing ends.
And momentum seems to be building for a trilateral summit between Korea, the United States, and Japan. Sources close to the matter say the government has held a National Security Council meeting to look into the possibility of the leaders of Seoul, Tokyo, and Washington sitting down together for talks on the sidelines of the Nuclear Security Summit to be held in The Hague next week. Now, this comes amid a series of overtures by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who pledged to honor a previous government apology for victims of wartime sexual slavery and called Korea the most important neighboring country in a diet session on Tuesday. Government sources add the Asian countries are also facing growing pressure from Washington to mend fences. If the three-way talks do take place, North Korea's nuclear program and crisis in Ukraine and other issues of mutual concern will likely be on the agenda. Now, this will be the first time the leaders of Korea and Japan will be meeting face-to-face in 2 years.
Now, deregulation has been the key word for President Park Geun Hye in recent weeks, and whether or not business leaders and government officials are on board, we'll find out on this Thursday. President Park will be presiding over a ministerial-level meeting involving government officials and some 60 businessmen from large conglomerates and small and medium-sized companies at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. President Park is moving forward with her dedication toward reform as reiterated in her one-year anniversary speech last month.
모든 규제 개혁의 과정 하나하나를 제가 규제 장관 회의를 통해 직접 챙겨 나갈 것입니다.
The president has stressed that deregulation is a key initiative in her creative economy vision and the quickest way to spur economic growth. Thursday's 4-hour discussion will be televised nationwide. Further details on the format and participants are set to be released before the meeting begins.
Korea will have a new central bank governor starting next month. Lee Ju-yeol got the stamp of approval on Wednesday after being questioned at the first confirmation hearing in the Bank of Korea's 64-year history. For more, we now connect live to our Hwang Jie, who's standing by at the nation's central bank. Jie, what are we expecting from the new top central banker?
Well, Lee Ju-yeol, who is a veteran central bank official, said yesterday during his confirmation hearing that the nation's central bank should not only focus on the inflation rate, but also on growth. Now, this may sound as though the new top central banker is hinting about a rate cut, but actually, he dismissed market expectations of a rate decrease. In a written response before the hearing, he also said that the current key rate is accommodative to support the nation's economic recovery. Lee Ju-yeol, who has now been confirmed as the next Bank of Korea governor, said the central bank should look for balance between the nation's inflation rate and economic growth.
Inflation is not a major threat to the Korean economy now, so it's right to focus on growth. But the current interest rate level does not seem to be an obstacle in the nation's economic recovery.
Experts say his comments are realistic, with many believing the rate has been kept at low levels for too long.
Many countries, including the United States, are turning their policy stance from overly expansionary stance to a normal one, neutral one, and Korea cannot be an exception.
Nobody knows for sure what would be the right interest rate for a country, especially for a country like Korea, which is wide open to foreign capital and also very volatile domestically. But one thing is clear, the interest rate had been kept at this current rate for a very long period of time.
They add that focusing on growth, or in other words, coordinating with the government, does not necessarily mean a rate cut is coming.
Instead of interest rate policy, I think the central bank is asking government to do something else, like deregulation policies, like boosting venture capitals, creating creative economies. So those kinds of structural reforms or deregulation reforms would be more important to fostering long-term growth.
During the hearing, Lee also said that he fully acknowledges the importance of communicating with the market. He added that the central bank has to regain the trust of the people. He also conceded that the central bank did not communicate effectively with the market last April when it kept its key rate unchanged.
The market had high expectations of a rate cut, and that's because the central bank had sent signals to the market. I believe there was a problem in communication.
Once he takes office April 1st, replacing outgoing Governor Kim Jung-soo, experts say that he will be preoccupied with matters such as how to weather the impact of the U.S. Federal Reserve's tapering of its monetary stimulus program. The nation's snowballing household debt will also be a concern.
Lowering interest rates or maintaining interest rates at low levels as much as possible may expand the current dangerously large household debt bubble, and the bubble may eventually turn out to be a humongous financial tsunami that is ready to swallow all the Korean economy.
Experts add that while the central bank is expected to keep its key rate unchanged for the next couple of months, they predict the bank to act in the second half of this year.
Eventually, when Central Bank of industrialized countries, especially USA, show the symptom of increasing the interest rate, then Bank of Korea will also make a move, the move of increasing interest rate.
So, Chia, we hear lawmakers had no critical objections to Lee's appointment and gave a quick approval, which is quite a rare case in parliamentary hearings here in Korea.
Yes, Jinju, Lee's confirmation hearing went smoothly with no major moral issues setting his appointment back. Right after the confirmation hearing, lawmakers from both the ruling and opposition parties agreed to accept his nomination. Now, this is partly coming from his background. Lee started work at the central bank in 1977 and has held key positions throughout the years, including the head of the research department. He was also a deputy to the outgoing Governor Kim Jung-soo for about 2 years until 2012. Jinju?
So we do hope that the new BOK governor's emphasis on growth and communication will help stabilize market conditions and improve the people's livelihoods in the coming years. Thanks, Jia, for that report. That was our Hwang Jie reporting live at the nation's central bank.
Good morning. Let's run through the front pages of your newspapers. Now, a lot of the stories this morning are covering the prospects for a three-way summit between Korea, the U.S., and Japan. And we'll have a look at what 동아일보 has to say about that. And the title reads, Cooperation on Nuclear North Korea, Korea, U.S. and Japan Summit highly likely. And the subheadlines here, they say that the three countries had entered a final coordination phase to arrange the summit on the sidelines of the Nuclear Security Summit to be held from March 24th to the 25th over in The Hague, Netherlands. And Korean President Park Geun Hye, U.S. President Barack Obama, and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe may use the summit to reaffirm their security cooperation in the North Korean nuclear standoff, as well as to allow Park and Abe to have their first summit, as you heard earlier in the headlines too. However, the article here also mentions that the summit schedule is not confirmed yet, as it leaves open the possibility of Korea rejecting the overture for the meeting based on the president's persistent stance that there is no point in holding the talks with Abe when there is no progress on historical issues. Also, many government officials here in the country think Japan is lacking a genuine demeanor. So although highly likely, there are still doubts about the summit taking place here in the Korean government. We'll wait and see how that unfolds. And let's go on over. Actually, 중앙일보 is also featuring the same story, so we'll skip that for now. Going over to 조선일보 for a look at its front page image regarding the situation over in Crimea. And if you take a look at this headline right here, the subheadlines, the caption rather here, the image title reads, Russia's power smashes through the Ukrainian naval base, and the caption explains that armed forces who claim to be a pro-Russian civil militia seized a Ukrainian naval base stationed on the Crimean Peninsula just on the 19th. And you can see they've broken into the walls of the Naval Command's office building. Following that, in fact, the Russian military arrived to occupy the naval base, while Ukrainian soldiers weren't able to fire even just one shot at the Russian forces. And going to Gyeongyang-Shinmun now for a look at this story here on the side regarding a possible new Cold War era. And the title reads, Russia displays power while U.S. cannot, is a new Cold War era coming for the East and the West. And if you take a look at the subheadlines, they mention that the West was not able to restrain Moscow's annexation of Crimea, and tension without collision is bound to be prolonged, signaling a Cold War, perhaps. The U.S. and Europe are groping for ways to increase pressure on the defiant Russian President Vladimir Putin, as there are fears of a new Cold War era. And in the meantime, UN Chief Ban Ki-moon and Putin will meet in Moscow this Thursday. So more details will be coming up from Eunice Kim later on in the show. So please stay tuned in for that. Now coming back to Korea here on the Korea Economic Daily. It's regarding deregulation. You heard in the headlines as well. War on regulations. It's not just about Korea, though. It's in other countries as well. So it reads, war against regulation ignited also in the U.S., UK, and Japan. Now, U.S. President Barack Obama made a statement early this month to re-examine all the regulations that exist within the federal government. The reason behind this regulation reform is because Obama believes old, worn-out regulations are getting in the way of creating new job opportunities. And also in the meantime, if you take a look on the side here, other countries like the UK, Australia, and Japan, they're also aiming to activate their economies and business activities through a war on regulation. And that was a look at your newspaper headlines for this Thursday. And coming up are the stock numbers from Wednesday.
The morning is off to a chilly start here in Seoul, and as we mentioned at the top of the hour, we are expecting some rain today, too.
That's right. So taking the advice of having an umbrella with you would be good, but if you're already out and you don't have an umbrella, you can always pick one up at a nearby convenience store. But for more on today's weather...
How kind of you to tell them.
I've been in that
I think everyone
before,
knows.
Right? Let's go over to Chun Sung-cho.
Good morning, Sung-cho. It's not raining just yet, is it?
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's not raining just yet, and it is a chilly start this morning. Currently, we're seeing cloudy skies due to a low-pressure trough from the south, and today's forecast calls for rain showers throughout the nation, starting in the afternoon, in the late afternoon, not more than 5 millimeters. And you know, it's pretty cloudy and hazy at the moment. And Gangwon-do province, it seems like it refuses to, let go of winter just yet. Up to 20 centimeters of snow is expected, especially in the mountainous region. So if you're in that area, then please take cautionary actions. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures around the nation. Seoul's highs are 11, Gangneung the coldest at 6, Busan the warmest at 16 degrees. Starting tomorrow, plenty of sunshine is ahead and temperatures will warm up gradually into next week. So maybe it's a good time to start planning an early spring getaway. That's all I have for the weather forecast. I'm Chun Sung-cho, Korea Today.
Tensions continue to rise over the Crimean Peninsula, and the Korean government yesterday announced its position on this issue as well. We'll turn to our Eunice Kim standing by at the news center for more on this. Good morning, Eunice. Now, the Korean government said it does not recognize Crimea's referendum.
Good morning, Min Jung. That's right. Korea's foreign ministry did release a statement on Wednesday saying that it will not recognize a Russia-annexed Crimea and that it does respect the sovereignty and independence of the Ukrainian government. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is due to arrive in Moscow this Thursday. He's Kiev-bound on Friday to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin and urge for a peaceful end to the crisis. But despite these diplomatic efforts, Russian lawmakers are on their way to ratifying a treaty that would make Crimea Russian territory by the end of the week. The Kiev government is calling on the UN to declare Crimea a demilitarized zone. This as we are hearing of 2 more dramatic seizures of Ukrainian bases in Crimea by presumably Russian troops, including the Crimea Navy headquarters in the port city of Sevastopol, where troops raised Russian flags.
Still a messy situation there. Now, in the meantime, in the U.S., we have a landmark penalty reached on Toyota that could change the way that faulty auto recalls are dealt with in the future.
Right. General Motors has been under the eye of regulators for the way it handled its bout of ignition switch failures, and it could be affected by this latest settlement between the U.S. Justice Department and Toyota, as you said, which will have to pay $1.2 billion for misleading the public on its faulty car parts. That's the largest criminal penalty to date imposed on an automaker in the United States, and it caps a 4-year investigation. You may remember Toyota had recalled more than 10 million cars, including its popular Camry model, due to problems with their brakes, accelerator pedals, and floor mats. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder said Toyota had misled the public, federal regulators, and members of Congress to conceal the safety issues of which they were aware.
So this could certainly have some huge repercussions there. Now, take us over to Taiwan, where some thousands of university students stormed into the country's parliament to protest over a trade agreement that is in the works.
That's right. Taiwan's government had been working on a trade pact with China, which would open up each other's services market in as many as 80 industries, including banking and e-commerce. But critics fear that the agreement would leave the island nation vulnerable to pressures from Beijing and also hurt the Taiwanese economy. Thus, on Wednesdays, thousands of demonstrators, mostly university students, stormed Taiwan's parliament to protest the trade deal, and Taiwan's Central News Agency calling the occupation by demonstrators unprecedented, as there were more crowds gathered outside the complex there. And that wraps the international news headlines we are following this morning.
Still to come on Korea Today, known as Korea's Beverly Hills, we let the sun set to truly enjoy what Gangnam has to offer, from the hottest clubs that attract stars from all over the world to shops that only open for night owls. Join us on Korea Discovered as we take on the night.
And the first movie ranked in over 1.5 billion US dollars in sales nationwide. And it's set to film the sequel here in Korea. 20 minutes of the film is set to be filmed here, right here in Seoul, as well as Gangnam, as we just saw some clips of Gangnam. And Im Yoon-hee joins us with a look at this movie. What movie is this now?
Good morning, Young. So
Good morning.
The other day you told me that you wanted to talk about movies, so I've come to oblige you, and I've brought you a very anticipated movie, and we're talking about none other than the sequel to the Avengers series. Yes, so they have confirmed that they are filming here in Korea, and the locations have been released. So let's take a quick look at this superhero movie.
They're the superheroes that took the world by storm a few years back. And now they're back together. But this time, they're here to battle the sentient robot Ultron in Avengers: Age of Ultron. The first installment of The Avengers grossed over 50 million US dollars here in Korea, becoming the most watched foreign film of 2012. And earlier this year, gossip spread like wildfire across the internet, with rumors that scenes for the sequel will be filmed here in Korea. Early last month, Marvel Studios confirmed that, yes indeed, the beloved heroes would be fighting their battle, or at least part of it, right here in Seoul.
Joss was also very excited to shoot a film in this beautiful country and to show the world the never-seen-before beauty of Korea. Its cutting-edge technology, breathtaking landscapes, and unique architecture makes Seoul an ideal place for Marvel Avengers: The Age of Ultron, and it will look spectacular on film.
Production in the Korean capital is expected to run from March 30th to April 12th, and many parts of the city are expected to be featured, including the bustling Gangnam intersection, Gangnam Station, Mapo Bridge, Cheongdam Grand Bridge, and the beautiful Sebit floating islets, just to name a few. Marvel Studios recently signed an agreement with the Korean Film Council and the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism in order to work out the details, as many parts of the city will be temporarily blocked and transportation routes interrupted by production.
The bus routes will be temporarily relocated, and the citizens will have to be wary of that. Also, we are fully preparing proper safety measures for the scenes planned on being filmed in Korea.
Fans are anticipating the arrival of key cast members, including Captain America, played by Chris Evans, and the ever-so-sly Black Widow, played by a pregnant Scarlett Johansson. And in general, the idea of Korea being a part of a Hollywood blockbuster has many people abuzz.
And this is exciting indeed, but what is it about the Avengers that made it the third highest grossing film and the most popular film amongst all ages?
Well, there are multiple reasons why, but one of the first reasons why is the heroes. It's just down to, this is a classic story about heroes that we're familiar with, that we grew up with, that we love. And so to see them together on the screen is quite exciting. Another reason is the star-studded cast. So it said that each one of these cast members is bringing in their own fan base to the Avengers series. We can't forget that Claudia Kim Soo-hyun, Korean model-turned actress, is taking part in this next Avengers 2 movie. But you know, also, the whole Marvel series did a brilliant job with this parallel series and these follow-up movies with Iron Man, with Thor, and so these movies together are creating a network of the whole Marvel, universe that people are just getting really into. Well said, and it's a huge franchise that used to be comic books that we used to read as children. Now, when you mentioned Kim Soo-hyun as well, many people thought one of the search words came up a long time ago, and it was Kim Soo-hyun Avengers, and everyone thought it was the other Kim Soo-hyun, the male Kim Soo-hyun, but it happened to be her, so congratulations to her. But everyone's excited about having the filming here in Korea. What's the reaction of Koreans? fans have been going crazy. In 2012, the first Avengers released here in Korea was one of the top movies. It made top 10. But continuing on, this Avengers 2 is expected to do quite well. So here in Korea, not many foreign films make this 10 million viewer mark. And so that's why when Frozen was released and hit that mark, it was such a big deal. But this Avengers 2 is anticipated to be a huge movie here as well, with Korea being a part of the film as well. And so people are very excited about that, but we'll have to wait till next summer when it's planned on being released May 1st in the States and a little bit later here in Korea.
All right, sounds good. We still have a bit more to go, but I'm sure fans like myself are very excited. Thank you very much, Uni.
Oh, my pleasure.
And while the Avengers are coming to Seoul, Korean-style makeup is reaching out to the world, still ahead. Now, Korea is now a leader in the Asian makeup trend industry and a cosmetic global powerhouse. Korea has a new chic that will completely transform your look this spring. We'll show you what's vogue and how you can use these latest techniques on K-Style.
Now, in today's news sum up, we have a pile of what is suspected to be meteorites found in Shilla province.
That's right. What these could be, though, is anyone's guess at this point. Kwan Lina joins us from the digital room to tell us more about this and other stories. Good morning, Lina.
Good morning. Good morning to you both. We'll get to the meteorite story in just a moment, but we have a few very good news to get to this morning. Not bad ones, good ones. I'm very happy to share this story. This first one is regarding a story entitled Mose's Miracle in Busan. This story has been topping the charts all throughout yesterday afternoon. It regards a modern-day miracle. Cars on one of Busan's busiest highways parted during rush hour traffic, very much like the miraculous parting of the Red Sea. On March 10th, an expecting mother from Pohang, 120 kilometers away from Busan, went into premature labor. She was 2 months early and in a critical state. As she was being transferred to a bigger hospital, they ran into heavy rush hour traffic around 8:30 in the morning. Much to everyone's surprise, all the cars on the road began to pull over to the sides of the highway. The EMT who escorted the mother noted that in his 3 years of experience, it was the first time he has seen something like this happen. Now, a few years ago, a similar video surfaced in the country of Germany, and basically Korean online community responded with skepticism, saying, would this ever happen in Korea? Well, times have certainly changed. Now, speaking of good deed, we have another feel-good story to get to this morning regarding the Shilla CEO. Now, this story has resurfaced somewhere around yesterday because of a broadcast. Now, the story regards Hotel Shilla CEO Lee Bo-jin, who is also the eldest daughter of Samsung. Chairman Lee Geon-hye also claimed the spotlight for the notion of noblesse oblige, which refers to the social responsibilities of the privileged. Now, about a month ago, a taxi driver in his 80s had accidentally driven into the revolving doors of the main entrance at the Shilla Hotel. A total of 4 people, including the passenger and hotel employees, were injured, and the damage came out to cost 500 million won, roughly $470,000 US. Now, the cab driver's insurance covered only a small portion of it. When the CEO Lee Bo-jin found out that he was living under very poor conditions, the hotel decided to cover all the expenses. A very feel-good story this morning. Now, the last story I'm going to get to is regarding the suspected meteorites found somewhere down in Gochang City. Unfortunately, we think they aren't meteorites at this point anyway. Seoul National University's Meteorites Research Lab has revealed its first analysis based on 11 pictures of the supposed meteorites found in Gochang. So far, no features prove the set of rocks are meteorites. If they hit the Earth on the same day as the ones found in Jinju, they should have some similar characteristics. The rocks found in Gochang are relatively weathered. Also, if the found pieces were once a single meteorite, it should have caused a bigger scene in Gochang with a loud exploding sound. Now, this study conducted at SNU's Research Center is not conclusive or final. We will have to wait and see if other experts prove otherwise. That's all from me. I'll see you back on News Sum Up tomorrow.
And it's time to get that look at Seoul's nightlife, more specifically the Gangnam district. And joining us is a familiar face.
That's right. Joey Mercadante joins us this morning once again. Good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
back.
Thanks for having me back. Yeah, Gangnam is where it's at. I mean, it is the center point for all of Korea's trends. You know, it's the place to see and it's the place to be seen. And a lot of celebrities have visited the Gangnam area as well.
Yes.
Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Hugh Jackman, Brad Pitt have all been spotted in the Gangnam area. And you know, Seoul is the city that never sleeps. Well, Gangnam really never sleeps.
Quite literally,
yeah,
right?
so with that being said, let's take a look at Gangnam nightlife. Located in the southeast region of Korea's capital, Seoul, what kind of place is Gangnam? The district is well known as the center of finance and IT industry, but also as the hub of diverse arts, culture, and fashion. Gangnam is known as the starting point for Korea's trends, from delicious eateries, sceneries, to entertainment. This part of Seoul shows its true colors when night falls. So let's find out why Gangnam shines bright.
Look at this. 8:49 in the evening, and there are this many people still here in Gangnam. Why are people so passionate about Gangnam? Well, I'm about to show you. Let's go have a look. Gangnam Style.
You just had to do that.
I had to do it. The first stop to enjoying Gangnam to its fullest are the city's hottest clubs. From one of Asia's biggest clubs to one for novice partiers, visitors can find Gangnam stars at these hubs.
Wow.
As many celebrities dressed from head to toe visit many of these venues as well. Thousands of people, united as one.
Filled with people.
They enjoy the bright lights, dynamic and ecstatic music mixed by world-renowned DJs. Often party till dawn at these clubs. And by paying affordable entrance fees ranging from $9 to $28 US, clubbers can submerge themselves into Gangnam's unforgettable party scenes. If you're looking to experience a high-octane night, clubs are the way to go. But if you're looking to enjoy a more soothing and relaxing evening, I highly recommend a premium makgeolli bar, where smooth jazz sets the mood and unique makgeolli and rice wine will stimulate your taste buds.
I think that's more to my liking.
Right, more suitable
This bar
for something or for 30-somethings and 40-somethings, right?
Yes. This bar is the first to house a makgeolli sommelier. And they have Korean fusion finger foods to accompany your makgeolli experience.
But you're using chopsticks for those finger foods.
Many foreigners are interested about makgeolli, curious, because it's very specific to Korea. And this place is the perfect place to enjoy makgeolli and the fusion of makgeolli. Red wine makgeolli, sparkling wine makgeolli, and the fusion of the food. Absolutely perfect.
I think makgeolli goes well with that cup.
Yeah.
Not the glass, though.
You have to have that.
Yeah. Now it's time to get away from Gangnam's hustle and bustle and enjoy some nature. 15 minutes by car from Gangnam Station will take you to the beautiful night view of the sparkling Han River. Try walking or cycling along the Han River to take in the city's late-night crisp, fresh air.
That's the Bampo Bridge.
And if you made it here to the Bampo Han River Park, it's an absolute must to watch the Bampo Bridge Rainbow Fountain spectacular show. It's a fantastic water performance featuring rainbow hues, and it stops and captivates many people. Now, Gangnam, the fashion mecca, keeps people's nights extremely dynamic and busy. A very unique night flea market opens up at a cafe in Nonhyundong on the first Saturday of every month. Even though it's a flea market, visitors can find all sorts of creative and unconventional goods made and sold by some of the hottest designers.
Partying, Gangnam knows how to show somebody a good time. But does Gangnam know how to relax? Yes, they do. Come with me and I'll show you a really great place to visit at the end of the night.
My last stop is here. At the Gangnam Night Tour is a late-night spa massage. From office workers, couples to tourists, many make their way out for a spa massage for rejuvenation, relaxation, to relieve their stress and exhaustion.
You're really enjoying that, aren't you?
And the best way to enjoy a spa massage with Gangnam's spectacular night view as your backdrop starts with the relaxing body massage to boost blood circulation and relieve tense muscle, followed by a paraffin therapy. And by the end of it all your fatigue melts away.
What a perfect end to my night. I love Gangnam nights. Places to drink, places to dance.
places to relax, and I feel so great. Don't you just want to try that? Let's review my night one more time and take a look at my recommendations, shall we? Let's do it.
Club hopping, a drink or two, and
night
beautiful
owl
night
shopping.
scenery. Flea market shopping.
Sounds good, right?
Oh, sounds good. A
Topped
number
off
of
with a spa.
recommendations on that list. If you were to come back to Gangnam with a friend, which one would you go to?
Well, I really enjoyed my massage. The girl there was fantastic. But I wouldn't necessarily do that with a friend. My spa time is just for me. So if I'm going to bring a friend, I would say the Makgeolli bar in Cheongdam.
I thought you would go with the club.
No, not the club.
Clubs are found in other places around the world, but the makgeolli bar is quite unique.
Right, and the way they they infuse the makgeolli with different ingredients is really interesting. There was one that it didn't make the report, but it was a hypnotic infused makgeolli. Hypnotic is a popular liquor that's made with cocktails now. It's kind of like vodka, and it's baby blue. So this cocktail, which was on the rocks, was baby blue with a creamy sort of texture. Very nice.
So how is that taste, that the East meets West taste?
It's just perfect. I mean, I think it's makgeolli is great to mix. I think it's just because of the texture and yeah, I think makgeolli, you can do many things with makgeolli. So I'm kind of inspired by that. Like I'm gonna go home and try to infuse some of my own makgeolli.
All right.
So the Pampo fountain bridge that was on our clip was listed in the Guinness Book of Records for being the longest fountain bridge.
Yeah, it is. And it's absolutely spectacular to look at. It's a great experience. If you're gonna visit the Han River, you should see the fountain, the Pampo fountain.
When can we start seeing it?
Yeah, so starting, good question. Starting April at 8 p.m. every night, the fountain show begins to the backdrop of soothing, kind of romantic music.
With all the lights
with
coming out.
all the lights, the rainbow hues. I'd say it's nice to go on your own, but it's a nice couple thing as well, a nice family experience.
Yeah, it's really nice to just pass by on the expressways at 8 p.m. because you get to see that, right?
I didn't know that it was the longest, and it holds a world record. Interesting.
Yeah, the drive-by experience is just as good as the sitting and watching too. I agree. I like the driving through. It's
okay, well, what if you do? What if you don't have a car? I mean, how about transit in Seoul and around the Gangnam area?
Yes. Okay. Well, there's no need to worry about that. Seoul has something called the owl buses.
The owl bus.
The owl buses now run from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Okay. And
5 a.m.
To 5
wow,
a.m.
that's in the wee hours.
There are three buses that run through the Gangnam area: the N37, the N41, and the N60. I may be wrong, so check out the website, the Seoul Public Transportation website.
Do you know how much it costs?
Yeah, I mean, so
it's all about the cost,
yes,
of course.
Well,
it is. The exact amount escapes me at the moment, but it's cheaper than taxi fares, which is really nice. It's about 1,800 won.
Which is about $10, maybe around there, $15.
$2?
No,
I'm sorry.
It's about $2 US.
Yeah. Right.
Which is cheaper, which is much cheaper than.
I am not doing my math right this morning.
Yeah, and the buses that I mentioned, they pass through the Gangnam area as well, so you can do all the touring like I did by taking those buses.
All right, I think the night owl bus is the perfect option for people out there who are traveling on a budget and who just want to kind of get a chance to see the stops in between, right?
Yeah. Definitely. It's very convenient. A nice way to do it.
All right, Joey, thank you very much for giving us the whole lowdown on Gangnam.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
We'll see you again.
It was my pleasure. Anytime I can get a massage.
All right.
And a good Thursday morning to you all as we kick things off in the LPGA with the LPGA Founders Cup kicking off in Phoenix, Arizona on Thursday, U.S. time. And for world #1 Park Geun Hye, she'll be going after her first LPGA title of the season. After claiming her first title at the Ladies European Tour World Ladies Championship earlier this month, she'll now be going after her first LPGA title of the season. And to make it even more interesting, fans have been following the battle between Park Geun Hye and Suzanne Pettersen, with Park Geun Hye finishing higher in 2 of the 3 events so far. And moving over to Korea's national sport of Taekwondo, as the World Taekwondo Federation hopes to get the sport added on to the 2020 Paralympics. Now, with the sport getting the nod for the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo, the World Taekwondo Federation hopes to have the sport to be included in the Paralympics as well, with Taekwondo and badminton being on the list of possible events to be included. Now, if the sport gets the green light for 2020, Taekwondo will be a part of 5 major international sporting events. And shifting over to last night's AFC Champions League results, with FC Seoul taking on Hiroshima. Rafael Costa leveled the match at 1-1 in the 60th minute before Tsukasa Siotani scores in the 78th as Hiroshima took the match 2-1. Meanwhile, Ulsan Hyundai Tigers taking on Guizhou. Both sides draw 1-1 after a late goal from Hao Yang of Guizhou. And with that, moving over to Game 4 of the best-of-5 series in the first round of the KBL playoffs between the Seoul SK Knights and the Goyang Orions. Of course, going into the game here, the SK Knights off to a nice start as they take a 21-17 lead before shredding up Goyang's defense in the second quarter as they take a comfortable 41-26 lead going into halftime. Now, second half of the game, the Orions with a huge fourth quarter rally, but with Courtney Sims putting up 14 points and 15 boards on the night, SK holds on to take this game 63-60 and wins the series 3-1. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys again for your sports needs.
Often undergo vast transformations, from subtle and elegant to strikingly unique, with the help of makeup. Korean makeup tips have become especially famous for their up-to-date, trend-setting looks. Recently, Asia's first ever B2B exhibition titled Makeup in Seoul was held here, with large attendance numbers from all over the world. This spring, we'll find out all the latest in the makeup world through Makeup in Seoul.
That's right. The popularity of Korean cosmetics products has been on the rise thanks largely to beautiful Korean actresses. And just recently, a large-scale exhibition was held, dubbed the Makeup in Seoul exhibition, bringing together experts from home and abroad. And to help us stay in the know, expert Jennifer Kim joins us this morning. Good morning. They call you a makeup expert. You are, right? Aren't you?
Oh, well, I try to be. Thank you. Well, Makeup in Seoul is the latest exhibition. It's a B2B exhibition, and they've previously held it in Paris and New York, where it was called Makeup in Paris and Makeup in New York, annually since 2010. But this year it was very special because it's the first time that it's been held in Asia.
So it's the first time being held in Asia, but there are quite a lot of beauty exhibitions taking place here in Seoul. So what makes it so unique or special?
Well, whilst other exhibitions are more about marketing products or advertising products that are already on the market, this exhibition is more to promote, allow businesses to come and see what will come in the future and what we might see in stores in the next coming seasons.
So we can actually try out all the new makeup items that are yet to be released in the market.
Yeah, very exciting. So yeah, I saw a lot of really exciting products there, and I can't wait to show everyone what I saw. So why don't we go and have a look at some of the upcoming products and trends. Following Paris and New York, this year Seoul was the lucky venue where all eyes and ears were focused on Makeup in Seoul, the first business-to-business exhibition to be held in Asia.
In terms of makeup, if you speak about innovations, trends, creativity, there is only one country, Korea, and one city, Seoul.
And of course, I couldn't miss out on this beauty and cosmetics opportunity. Hi everyone, I'm at the Makeup in Seoul exhibition, and this is the place where we can see the future of makeup and see the new makeup trends and products. I'm so excited to see what there is, so let's go have a look. Some 30 major domestic and international cosmetic companies showcased their products at Makeup in Seoul. At the exhibition, there were all sorts of diverse colour makeup, skin products and packaged goods that were yet to be released out into the market.
Wow, look at this one. So bright. And look at the pattern of the whole palette. It's so nicely well constructed. I think I might try it. Oh, it's really good, very pigmented, and the colors are so unique. And I really like the pattern design as well of the palette. It's really nice.
Out of them, there was one in particular that grabbed my attention. This all-in-one product that has both powder and liquid cover for a quick and convenient application.
Wow. So I found this really awesome place called Easy Powder, and they've come up with these innovative products where the sponge itself has the product inside it already. So if you have a look at this product here, it just comes with two sponges. So the first one is a blush, and it's got the blush inside it already, and same with the foundation. So it's pretty cool.
And this makeup remover, I can't wait until it's out in stores. With a 20% water ratio, this makeup remover is extremely gentle on the skin.
Okay, it feels really light and silky, and it's moisturizing as well, so that means it's really good for the eye area, and it takes care of anti-wrinkling as well.
There was also a makeup show displaying all kinds of new cosmetic products and the latest in makeup. Many were curious to see the popular Hallyu K-beauty makeup trends that thousands of women around the world are mimicking. The style featured at this show is a favourite among Korean women, the innocent and youthful look. More specifically, this spring, focus is given on lip makeup.
Here's going to be pointing out the skin so that it's dewy and glowy. That makes you look innocent and young. And also the point right now is the gradation lips.
Brighten up your skin tone with the appropriate base and use lip gradation techniques for a young, innocent look. Makeup in Seoul was the place to be to check out diverse, innovative items and cosmetic trends. We look forward to K-beauty's continued popularity worldwide.
All right, so we have a beautiful model joining us, and you're gonna help her become even more beautiful, right?
Yes, we are. Yes,
okay.
we are.
So what are we gonna do to her first?
All right, so to talk about Korean makeup trends, the hottest thing on the market right now is something called 동안 makeup. And if you ask any professional makeup artist in Korea at the moment, they'll all say the same thing.
It's about
all
staying young, right?
Yes.
Or looking young.
That's right. Going back to actually the root of how we started, the baby skin and baby lips. So if you look at baby skin, their skin is clear, it's supple, it's dewy, and it has a natural glow. And if you look at their lips, they're soft and they don't have a very defined edge. So that's what I'm going to show you guys to do today.
All right, interesting. Lip gradation, right? It's called.
Lip gradation, yeah, that's right.
Okay, before we get to that, right, I want to look at that powder that you showed us in the report where it just, it's really interesting. Show us how it works.
Really innovative. This was something that I had to bring to show you. It's a new product that hasn't even hit the markets yet. It's called Easy, and they've got easy blushes, powders, cushions, and this actually comes with the product itself. So if you have a look, I'm just squeezing the sponge.
Zoom
in
there.
A close up right there, you can actually see the product is just oozing out.
Oozing out, that's so interesting.
And all you need to do is simply place it onto your skin. And you can use the sponge itself, or you can actually use your hands just to rub it in like so.
Because it can be a hassle to squeeze the liquid onto your palm then get the sponge and do it. So all 2-in-1.
That's right, and it keeps your makeup nice and hygienic as well. It's got, it hasn't even hit the market, so I just needed to show you that. But yeah, as I said before, to get that baby, dewy, illuminated skin, we're gonna start with this product right here. It's called the Mist Cushion, and this is something that's recently come out as well. It comes
she almost has no makeup on at this point.
Yeah. So this is all to do with the base makeup. It has a lot to do with the light that hits your face. So this product has been formulated so that it can really flatter the face, so that when the light hits, it just reflects the light and also makes your skin look dewy and volumized.
And the point these days it seems to be to go light on the base, right?
It just looks natural. It doesn't look like you've got anything. So as you can see, I'm just going to place a few dabs on the high points of her cheeks. And it's just going to bring that little glow
I'm placing it on her cheekbones here.
So not the entire face, but just some of the highlights?
You don't need to do it along the entire face.
Okay.
And then across the top of the bridge of the nose, just make sure it's well blended out. Sorry about that. And as you can see, when she just moves her face in the light, it just gives that glistening glow, and it doesn't really look like she's got anything on either. It's very natural.
It brings out her beautiful cheekbones, it seems like. Wow.
It's the natural Dongan skin.
Right, she looks younger already. Okay, now the lips.
For lips, okay, there's so many lip products on the market at the moment, and lip tints are all the craze in Korea. Everywhere you walk, there are just new types of tints coming out all the time. And the reason is because, as I said before, baby lips, they have a soft, just bitten glow and also soft edges. So I'm going to show you how to do that today.
I like how you call them baby lips.
Baby lips.
Kissable lips, right?
That's right.
Okay, show us.
Okay, so as you can see, there's so many different colors, there's different textures of tints, but I'm going to show you some of the different formulas that you can choose from. First of all, there are water formulas. So as you can see, oops.
Ooh, that's more liquid than the ones
That's right, you don't want that to happen on your lips.
Okay.
So as you can see, the liquids are really runny, so you have to work really quickly with them. And secondly, there are lip balm types, and these ones are just a little bit more glossier.
Okay, that you can just apply to your lips.
Yeah, so it's just a lip balm with a different color to it.
Okay.
Then this is my personal favorite. There are gel types. And this one's a little bit thicker in consistency. And this one looks really natural as well. And finally, there are lip glosses that are tints as well. So we've got like different colors and different textures. So you just want to choose what you prefer for yourself. And also, secondly, you just want to choose the right color for your skin tone.
Right, it's important, right? So if you have a darker complexion,
that's right.
What happens?
You want to brighten your skin tone, then probably go for a brighter color like an orange, a refreshing orange color, or maybe just a light pink. Right, so for our model today, we're going to start by, I'm going to use my favorite gel type consistency.
Okay.
And all you need to do is, first of all, just apply a few dabs to the inner part of the lips.
The point is to do it inside, towards the inner part, right?
That's right, just the inner part. And then if you want, you can use your fingers, but just for hygiene, I'm going to use a brush just to blend out those edges.
And so not the entire lips.
Not the entire lips, just the inside. So then after you've done that, you want to cover up and conceal the lines with a concealer. It could be a lip concealer or a foundation. I'm just going to use this lip concealer here, which is the same shade as her skin, and apply it to just the edges of the lips and conceal her natural lip color. Right.
It already makes her lips look very full too. It's interesting how you didn't apply it to the whole lips, but it looks full and very innocent too. Something about it looks innocent.
Innocent, that's right. Yeah. So right now I'm just blending it in to create that natural gradation, and you just don't want to make sure that you don't overlap them. And finally, you want to finish with a little layer of lip gloss. And this will complete the whole gradation look with a volumized pout.
Wow, so her lips look like very kissable, I must say.
Kissable and young looking.
Beautiful,
so you can have a lot of fun with these kind of tints.
Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm sure she wants to thank you too. Thank you for your expertise on
You're very
makeup.
welcome. But just before we finish, before you place your lip products on, you don't want to do it on chapped lips. You actually want to make sure your lips are nicely moisturized. So I've actually prepared a little tutorial to show you all how to do this.
Many makeup trendsetters often flaunt their unique and individualistic styles with lip makeup. But in order to do this, having and maintaining healthy, moisturized lips is a must. So then, how can we rejuvenate our lips that have become severely dry and chapped from cold, blistering winter winds? First, start with removing dead skin. Following a nice steam towel session, gently rub a brown sugar honey mixture to exfoliate chapped lips. If you've applied toner and moisturizer on your face every day, don't forget to apply them on your lips as well. Daily lip care is a must to get those soft lips. Eye cream is known to be gentle enough to apply on sensitive lips, so no need to worry. Give it a try for that healthy, moisturized look. Follow these simple daily steps to show off your shiny, lush lips this spring.
sure you want to know about
Yes,
these products
I was
as
so
well.
curious.
I brought one for you.
Thank you.
A tint for
but
your...
I was more interested with that sponge thing, making that dewy face.
That's right. It's going to make you look even younger.
Yeah, I hope so.
You don't need that, though. All right, well, that's just about this. Oh,
Could I interest uninterested
in this? All right, that's just about this it for this in this edition of Korea Today.
All right, enjoy your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.